What's up, everyone? Another episode of the Tough Runs Don't Last podcast coming at you this Sunday afternoon, this lovely Sunday afternoon. It's raining here. I don't know about there. But anyway, I am your host, Graham Powell, on this screen. That's Michelle Zingoulis on the other. Say, hey, what's happening, everyone? Hope you're having a great day, Michelle.
Hey, what's happening, everyone? I hope you have a great day, Michelle.
Weird, but close enough. All right, before we get started, let's give a quick shout out to our sponsor. Y'all know the drill. The Tough Runs Don't Last podcast is presented by Rhino Races. Rhino Races is a virtual race series that offers 5 different races: a 5K, 10K, half marathon, a marathon, and the one of a kind Rhino Ultra. You can sign up for one or all 5 of their races at rhinoraces.com. Run your race at your convenience. Track it with your fitness app of choice. Screenshot your results as proof of completion. Submit that screenshot to rhinoraces.com under the submit results section. Once your results are verified by Rhino Races staff, your award will be shipped to you by mail. Also, check out their gear section for t-shirts, wristbands, decals, and more. That's rhinoraces.com. Rhino Races is the premier virtual running series. And you can find us, the Tough Runs Don't Last podcast, on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on X, Instagram, and TikTok at TR Don't Last. Okay, we do have a special guest on this show today. That is, we'll just introduce him, Michelle.
This is Radley.
For those of you watching on Spotify and YouTube,
He's being very cuddly today. So I don't know how long he's going to stick around, but we welcome him as long as he's here.
listening and not watching, you'll probably get some meows every now and then, as long as he is part of the show. Okay, I had a good weekend of running. I did the City of Colleges half marathon in Conway, Arkansas yesterday. First time I've ever done that race. It's been around for a while. I had an opportunity to pace it, so I decided to do that. That's really the only reason I did it. It's on the more expensive side of race registrations as far as races go, but it's a well done event. It's well organized. It starts and finishes on the UCA campus, the University of Central Arkansas. There are 3 colleges there in Conway, Arkansas, for those wondering why it's called that. So a town of, I don't know what it is now. It was 60,000 people or so last time I checked. Um, and it has 3 colleges. So yeah, University of Central Arkansas, Hendrix College, and a smaller college, Central Baptist College. Um, so yeah, City of Colleges half marathon. I've got a shirt for me to show it on this camera, but I did get a medal. I'm wearing it, but it's much easier to just take it off and show. It's got the traditional Greek kind of life thing, a little spinner doohickey here, as my dog's in there hacking his guts out. He likes to do this during the podcast as soon as I hit record.
He
What
likes
are
to.
your thoughts?
I like it. I like the gold and I like the spinny portion.
The spinning port.
Yeah.
I assume that's a Greek god, goddess of some type.
It does
Uh,
appear that way. And the logo is even like kind of like Greek letter-ish. Or the font is Greek letter-ish.
well, it is. That's definitely the theme. Yeah, I like the medal. It was well done, well organized. Um, the parking was great. I had a busy week, so I didn't do a lot of research on this, the course, anything like that. I looked at the emails I was sent as far as that went, as far as the map and pacing it, etc. I didn't have time to look at all that, and but when I got there, like I packet pickup and everything was the same place as it was the day prior. If you wanted to go early, and it was at the football like indoor practice facility is where it was, and the start was just across the outdoor practice field from it, and it's UCA, so it's not a huge practice field, not like you're on an SEC campus or anything. There wasn't a whole lot of walking involved, but I got to pull up. I got there early enough that I got to pull up like in a spot very close to the field house where I could just or indoor practice facility where I could just walk in and get in line and get my registration. And I looked over, I saw the pace signs that were sitting out, and I did not see my pace sign. I was supposed to be the 220 group. And so I'm just thinking, okay, well, maybe there's another 220 person here, and they grabbed it. I didn't think about this, but we didn't have pace shirts or anything. So it would have looked weird me running alongside the 220 person, just running by them, not holding a sign or anything without a pace shirt. Wouldn't have made a lot of sense. So there were 500 something participants. I think that's combining 5K, 10K, and all the half marathoners. It's still a very good turnout. But anyway, I see some other pacers come up finally, and another was missing a sign. And so I was like, okay, well, we'll figure this out together, I guess. And basically, there's just backing, and this is normal. Some people commit early, back out, and the person organizing it, they have other stuff going on too. So it's like times must have gotten jumbled or something like that. But it was a quick fix. I was like, okay, there's not going to be a 220 person here, and there's not a 220 sign. There's a 215 available. I will gladly do that instead. And it worked out because the morning of, I realized as I was putting my stuff in the car, I was like, I did not make a pace band. I would have had to make my own. Like, I did not make a pace band. So I basically, long story short, when I got there and realized I was doing 215, I fortunately had brought some packing tape, paper, scissors, and a pen. And then I just made my 215 pace thing real quick and just put my little binder clip, as you called it, and just attached it to my sign so I could just look. It's easier than a wristband anyway, because I was wearing a long sleeve shirt. If you're wearing a long sleeve shirt, you got to pull the sleeve up, which I hate to do. And plus, you usually have to turn the band around on your wrist. This way, I can just look at it and boom, there it is. And if anything, I got a 215 little pace chart here. If I ever do that time again, which I'm sure I will. So it worked out basically. Should I tell you how the race went? I sent you my time. I don't know if I described it to you. Did I describe it to you yesterday?
No, you did not describe the race.
All right. Well, as far as pacing goes, it was like an A plus job if you look at the time. I
Mm.
was the 215 pace group. My official time was 2:14, 2 hours 14 minutes 57 seconds. That's what my official time was. My Strava, I got the Strava attached, or stopped my watch a second after that, after I fully crossed the finish line. So on my Strava, it's 2:14:58. Looks great, right? Like Graham did just the best job he's ever done pacing. That's how it looks. Okay, this is what really happened. All right, so I knew that the course, or I was told by the pace organizer that it's a long course. Like when she ran it, it was 13:25. And she was right. That's what it ended up pretty much being yesterday. But you're also told, like in the pace instructions, etc., go by the mile marker, not the distance on your watch, which I don't understand that because the mile markers are short or long all the time on courses. It's volunteers going out and doing this stuff, usually. Uh, so I'm doing that, and all the mile markers, they're short, but it's not so short that it's just dramatic. Like the most I was like 0.12 away off from like a mile. And so I'm thinking, okay, if anything, the course might be short. And if anything, I often over prepare. Like I'm usually having to go really slow, much slower at the end, to get close to my time. So I'm very conscious of that toward the end of the race. I keep looking at my watch and I'm like, okay, I need to probably slow down. So I'm going what I think is the right pace. And I get to a certain point at the end, which by the way, I ran by my freshman dorm. That was pretty neat. And I was like, hey, I used to live there. And I told people that were around. I was like, hey, I lived there 20 something years ago. 21. Yeah, 21, 22 years ago. I think it was exactly 20 years ago, actually.
You're old.
Yes, correct. You are too, by the way. But anyway, I get to a certain point, and there's a couple runners in front of me, and there's a person like kind of directing runners where to go, et cetera. And she's like, "Only 0.3 miles to go. You got this." And I look at my watch, and it's like 2 minutes till 2:15. And I'm like, I gotta go. Okay, I got to book it. I mean, I had to book it. I was, and I round the corner. And when I rounded the corner, I saw how far I had to go. And it was at least 200 yards away. And I had like a minute to get there. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I've got to go. And I had to absolutely turn on the speed. I wasn't just full sprint, like, like a bear is chasing me sprint, but I was going very fast. And I kept looking at the watch and running as not as hard as I could, but very close. And I crossed the finish line when I did and did my job. I realized within like 5 seconds I was going to do it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna meet it. Like I'm gonna cross the finish line on time. But yes, I was pushing it, and uh, felt like I failed as a pacer to an extent because I had some people that were around me near the end, and I just felt like I kind of let them down. But at the same time, I don't think they would have followed me anyway because they were gassed. Like had I turned on the speed earlier, like with 5 minutes ago, I felt like I would have left them behind. But still, I felt like I didn't do my job as a pacer, or at least as on paper I did. But live, I was like, I should have been better. But it was a learning experience, and yeah, I know how to handle that from now on. If I'm asked to do it again next year, which I imagine I would be, considering some didn't even show up apparently yesterday. So I imagine I would be. But all in all, pretty good experience. Got to eat at one of my favorite places to eat afterward yesterday, Don Pepe's in Conway, Arkansas. Uh, 5-star establishment as far as food goes. Michelle's weird. What are your thoughts on it, Michelle? You're making faces.
I'm just not a fan of Don Pepe's. Went there a lot in grad school, the one in Conway. And I was just not a fan of it.
Yet you
Um,
went there a lot in grad school.
yeah, because my friends wanted to go there.
Why did your friends want to go there?
They liked it.
Okay, well, your friends know what they're talking about. It's excellent. You and I couldn't be further apart on that. There's something else we couldn't be further apart on. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Regarding a movie we watched last night. Your eyes were going all over the place. You're like, what's he talking about? We'll talk about that in a little bit. But City of College's half marathon, very fun, cool race. Yeah, I'd like to do it again next year as a pacer if I get the opportunity. That's official half marathon number 35 for me, by the way. Yeah, I did have a lot of people that it was their first half marathon yesterday because I said, "How many people is your first half marathon?" There was about 6 or 7 that were like, "Yeah, me." And some girl goes, "What number is this for you?" I was like, "This is 35," and they were all just amazed by that. They thought that was so many,
It is a
and
lot.
I was like, "Well, I want to do 65 more at least, but I get it. Thank you." Um, but yeah, it was a fun experience. That's number within the last whatever it's been, my 10-week time frame for the Rhino Ultra. That's half marathon number 8. And I'm doing the back 40 trail run, which is 13 miles next weekend. And I'll add to that, make sure it's a half marathon. I'm going to try to get another half marathon training run in Wednesday. The stars did not align this past week for me to do that. I just had too much to do. Couldn't get home in time to run that far because it would have been dark, which it's going to be even harder to do now that the time has changed. So, but there was just nothing I could do about it last week. Um, I only got one training run in last week, which I have not missed a Thursday training run in a long time. But I'm not even disappointed in that, just because I had way too much to do at work and just couldn't get home till late, and I still had a lot to do and I needed to get some sleep considering I was going to have to get up at 4 something a.m. Saturday morning, which was yesterday morning, to go to the half marathon race, get there on time, etc. It was a 7 a.m. start. Yeah, I took the night off and I didn't feel that bad about it. It was Halloween, by the way. Happy late belated Halloween, everyone.
Well, last week was our Halloween episode, so
It was. I'm still wishing everyone a happy Halloween. We're officially in Thanksgiving season mode or Christmas mode for some of you, but I'm not going to forget about Thanksgiving. But we'll talk. That's a topic for another show, etc. All right. So, what all do you have going on this week, Michelle, besides law school? I'll make it
um
more difficult for you to talk about.
that's really it. I've got two quizzes this week. I turned in a paper yesterday. So we only have 3 weeks of classes left and then it's finals. So just trying to finish all of that up and not completely lose my mind.
How's that going, by the way? 'Cause my hat hits my microphone.
It's not going great. But that's okay. Meeting up with some friends today. We're gonna study for our quiz on Wednesday, and hopefully I did okay on the last one, so I'm hoping I can do okay on this one. And then it's just starting to study for finals.
All right, well, maybe that's why your cat is being so cuddly. He can sense like, hey, there's a lot going on here. I need to go be a good cat.
This is weird for him. Um, he was like this when I first adopted him. I could not sit down without him being in my lap. And then when FERPA came around, he kind of stopped. But this weekend, it is just constant. I can't sit here. When I was working on my paper Friday and Saturday, he was in my lap the whole time. I don't know. He's he's needing the extra love this weekend.
Well, mine's been very cuddly as well. I had to put her outside for this episode, otherwise she would get into everything. But it's raining. She won't get in her house. We talked about that. It's what it is. I'll let her in after a while. Okay, so I like how I was like, "What are you doing besides law school?" And then you just told me all the law school stuff that you're doing because that's all you're doing. That's all
Just
you're able to talk about.
that's all right now.
I'm going to make it challenging for you. Okay, you and I did watch a movie last night. You watched it before I did. You were at your place. I was watching football. I was watching football, and then I got like my plan yesterday after the race and ate and everything. I didn't have my first sip of coffee till like 5 p.m. Like I was drained. I had nothing in me energy wise. I was like, I'm gonna go home, and it was honestly after I got out of the shower, it was. I actually thought about, do I just want to go lay down for a few hours? Um, or I said I could do that, or I could drink coffee and watch football. I was like, okay, I'll do that. I'll just drink coffee and I'll stay up. It's already late in the afternoon. So I make some coffee. I sit down watching football. I get motivated to do things. My kitchen needed to be clean, so I go. I clean my kitchen. That was going to be it, and I said, well, I really need to put this laundry away. My clean laundry basket was like it looked like a muffin top. I mean, it was just clothes were just overflowing. I was like, I really should put those away. And I had clothes at the bottom of the hamper from like summer.
Wow.
Uh, yeah, I mean they were clean, that they just needed to be put away. But like my Arc 5K shirt, it was at the bottom of the pile, and I last wore that in like August or something. So like, okay, yeah, I need to. I was just wearing socks that were at the top of the pile. I had a bunch at the bottom. They were all clean. It wasn't dirty clothes like sitting in a hamper for months. It was clean clothes. They just needed to be put away. So I did that. I put everything away. I just got really motivated to do things last night and get the place organized. So I did. And then I sat down and watched the movie Trap. Did I ever say the name of the movie?
You hadn't.
Well, there you go. You told me you had already watched it. You told me your score of it. It wasn't a good score.
Was not a good score.
You said you had questions and you didn't go too much into it because I hadn't seen it yet. And I sat down and watched it and I went into it neutral. I don't let other people's opinion of things whether I'm friends with them or not, sway my opinion of it because everybody has a different view on it. I really liked it. I really liked the movie. I thought it was unique. The guy was it was fun trying watching him try to figure out how he was going to get out of this mess. For those of you that don't know, Trap is a movie about a there's a concert and there's a dad and his daughter. They go to this concert and there's a heavy police presence at the show. And finally, he inquires about it. He asks a guy at a t-shirt stand, "Hey, what's going on with all this?" And the police got word that this guy they called the Butcher, who killed like 12 people, notorious serial killer. There was a tip that he was going to be at this concert, and they were the whole plan was just the whole thing was an elaborate plan to capture this notorious serial killer, which is Josh Hartnett. And so the entire movie is basically him trying to figure out how he's going to get out of there. And there's stuff that goes on without getting too much into it. There's stuff that goes beyond that. And it was fun to me. It was fun to see him do that. I thought he was clever, he was smart, he was crafty, and he was crazy. And I really liked it. Okay. What was your I gave it a 4.6 out of 5 stars. You gave it what? 2 something.
I gave it a 2.2. I really did not like it. It was
Okay.
very slow to me. And for me, it was very predictable. Like I predicted everything that was going to happen before it happened, except for one thing. Um, like that's the only thing that I did not predict. And I will say though, it's because the movie like basically told you, like it would pan to a particular thing, so then you knew exactly what was going to happen next. So it gave everything away, which I felt it would have been better without those like cinematic details that were like 2 seconds of showing something, because then you wouldn't have known what was going to happen. And that happened the entire time.
We'll kind of agree to disagree on that. I understand what you're saying about some of it. Like what I predicted was like okay, spoiler alert now for those of you listening. Just fast forward through this portion. Escaping the house, that wasn't a surprise to me.
Mm-mm.
And when he was the limo driver.
Yeah, not a surprise.
Yeah, those two I was like I saw that coming. I saw
And
both of those coming.
him escaping the limo, um, like saw that happening.
Yeah, that
And
too.
then the bike thing, like why did we let him pick up the bike? You knew that something like that was going to happen.
Honestly, I knew there was something to it. I just needed to know what he was going to do. I was I mean, you didn't predict that part. Come
I
on.
mean, I knew he had picked something up off the bike.
But you didn't know what.
I didn't know what, but I knew it was going to be something to help him. Like, and it was the same thing. And that's the thing. It showed little pieces like that, since you did spoiler alert. Like, it showed the boiling oil before that part happened. It showed the door and the guy using the key card before that happened. Like, it showed literally everything that this guy was going to do. Like, just let that play out naturally. You don't have to pan to that happening. Like, we don't need to know that that's where his mind was, because it literally ruined the movie for me, because it
No,
showed everything that was going to happen before it happened.
but see, like then you'll be like, where did he get the card? You know, that kind of like it shows how crafty he was to like slick, like to be so slick to get the card the way he did things like that.
No, I think that's fine. But before he walked with that guy to the back, it showed another person walking into the door with the card. So you knew he was going to try to get a card from someone.
Yes. Like that's his access point. Okay, like that's how I can get in there. Like you have to build to that.
But if you hadn't shown that part, like he still could have been figuring that out without showing us that that's exactly what he was going to do.
Yeah, I don't think I understand what you're saying in your head, but if you're putting a story together to put in front of people, you have to tell that part of the story. We're just gonna agree to disagree on that. I really like the movie. I recommend it. Michelle would not, apparently. But it was a unique, it was definitely a unique I don't know, story that unfolded on the screen. I liked it.
Also, what was the like all of M. Night Shyamalan's movies have a twist. What was
Yes.
the twist in this one?
I mean, how are you going to get out of this? I mean, not everything has to be just cookie cutter. Like this is how I'm going to map out a movie. I know that's what fans of his maybe expect, but this was just a different story to be told. I don't know. I don't know that you had to necessarily have one. It was constantly how is he going to get out of this predicament? And it was a major predicament, especially at the end when she was like, he's out of moves, like the lead FBI person. So he's like, he knows that. He's like, what do I do? And so, I mean, it's he found a way to get his again, spoiler alert, he found a way to get his daughter on stage because backstage was the only out, was the only way out. He found a way to do that by telling this wild, elaborate story to who I believe was M. Night Shyamalan, by the way.
I thought so too.
Yeah, I think that was him. Who was playing the pop singer's uncle in the movie. Which, by the way, I thought the music was good, like in the movie. Like for, I mean, it wasn't like an actor. It didn't come off as an actor playing a singer role. Like the performance was like well done. It's like that was a believable concert experience. Okay, what was your favorite part in the movie? Like
Mm,
you got to pick a favorite.
my favorite part was honestly kind of like a part I laughed through, and that was when he did go in the back, and then like the whole SWAT team was there getting briefed, and he was like, "What am I gonna do?" And then he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go get coffee." And then he goes and gets coffee, and the guy's like, "Hey, where's your sugar?" And he's like, "Oh, so and so forgot to pull it out." And then he's like, "Here, you can have some from my stash." And then he pulls out donuts to cops and was like, "You want some donuts?" Like,
Just to explain, he's acting like an
yeah.
employee at the event. Like that's why he just goes through there and is able to do that. Um, mine was either the vegetable oil scene.
Hmm.
It was that. I figured you probably didn't like that because it was a little intense, but I thought it was great. I was like, that's pretty good. But my favorite part of it is when the again spoiler when the girl was clearly inebriated at the top of the stairs.
I also laughed at that part, and I know that
He
that
just
was not a part that I should have laughed at.
no, it was hilarious the way it was done. I mean, he just goes over and he just kind of looks around and then just shoves her down the stairs, trying to create a distraction for him to get out of there. I thought that was great. Like I literally laughed out loud at that, just the
Yeah.
way he did it and everything. I thought that was awesome. That was my favorite part of it. Uh, again, I enjoyed it. It was different and well done. I thought anyway. Okay. Are there other movies? Again, we're a running show, but we also talk about other things in life. All
Yes.
right. So, anything else we want to critique, Michelle, before we move on to what we have going this week, or what I have going? Well, in you, I guess, because there are two of us here.
No.
All right. So, to wrap up on that, I recommend Trap. Michelle doesn't. So, don't take either one of our opinions of it. Just watch the movie if you're interested and come up with your own. Okay. So, as far as what we have going on this week. I'm going to attempt a half marathon training run Wednesday. I will get my 2 runs in this week prior to what I have next Saturday. I have my first trail race this coming Saturday in Bella Vista. Blowing Springs is the start and finish of this race. It's the back 40 trail run. And there is a 40-mile option, but my brother and I are doing the 13-mile option. I know a couple of other people that will be there as well. I hear it's a tough course. I genuinely look forward to it. My friend Eric has told me kind of what he enjoys about trail runs. It's like, I mean, he looks at it as, I mean, I'm not going to go win the thing, so I'm just going to go enjoy it and finish. And that's kind of how I'll handle it, I think. I mean, I do want to run, not pace speed. I want to go a little faster than that, but it is going to be a trail run. So you're not going to be as fast as you are on a road. So you have to take that into consideration. I definitely don't want to get injured doing it a week before the Spa 10K, which is the 19th Grand Prix race of the season, the next to last race of the year. So I definitely don't want to get hurt before that. So I'm going to go out there and see how it goes. Don't know if my brother and I will run together or not. We'll talk about it a little bit, but I had said I needed to go get some trail running shoes. And I did that. I did that yesterday after the City of College's half marathon. I tried 3 different stores. The first one in Conway actually had one I really liked. They just didn't have my size in it. And they could have ordered it, but I'm weird. I'm like, no, I don't think I'm weird about that. But it's like, no, I need to like try the shoe on to be certain because I don't want to have to bring it back, especially when I live 40 minutes away. So I went to Academy. They didn't have any what I wanted. They had a Dick's there, which I almost went to that because I thought, I think Academy's over here on Oak Street. Turned out it was Dick's, so I wasn't completely wrong. They're kind of the same store, really. But Academy didn't have what I needed as far as a trail running shoe. So I go to the Sporty Runner in downtown Conway. I tried, the guy was extremely helpful. I wish I had his name. But I mean, he was like above and beyond, like excellent shoe salesman. But I like actually got me what I needed and like what would work for me. I tried the Brooks shoe, trail running shoe I tried on was a good shoe. I tried an Ultra, and the first one was way too wide. The second one would have worked, but the last one I tried that I thought would honestly I probably would like the least ended up being the one I picked, and I got it here. It is the New Balance Hierro, and it's spelled Hierro. But anyway, this is the shoe,
What color is that?
like a greenish.
Okay, it looked green, but I was like, maybe it's supposed to be gray.
That's the bottom. But I mean, good looking shoe, I think.
Yeah.
Lots of cushion, no slippage, but I'm excited about it. But yeah, got my trail running shoes. Actually got some socks. Hang on, I'm getting these socks.
Um, Grandma's very excited about these socks, and I'm gonna let him tell you why. But these socks come with something that neither of us had ever heard of before.
All right, these are the Feetures trail socks, and they have one that says no blisters, targeted compression in the arch provides superior comfort and support. Eyewick fibers move moisture to keep feet cool and dry, reinforced high wear zones for extra durability. Here's the thing, and it says it right here on the back, lifetime guarantee. Lifetime guarantee for socks. If you get a hole in these or anything like that, all you have to do is message the company Feetures. That's it. That's like feet, Feetures. You just have to message the company, and then they replace them at no charge to you. I've never heard of that as far as socks. I've never had a pair of socks where I didn't eventually get a hole in. These are different, and they're less than $20. Like they were 17, 15 before tax.
Still a lot for a pair of socks.
that lasts for a lifetime. That's amazing. If you could charge me double that if they weren't going to last a lot, or if they're going to last a lifetime, I wouldn't pay it. I wouldn't pay $40 for a pair of socks.
No.
But the point is, $20 for a pair of socks that are going to last you your entire life. And like, I know I've got some great socks to go for this trail run in, because I wanted, that's kind of my next thing. I think next year my next challenge I go after is going to be trail running. That's the goal, along with pacing and possibly the natural state series if it's back. Whatever. What are you looking at?
I'm looking at their lifetime guarantee. Like, what does that mean?
It means they guarantee that they'll last you for your lifetime. That's what it means.
Well, so it says if you're having a quality issue, or if our product failed to live up to your standards. So it covers holes, material thinning, which all socks get thin after a while, like, and stretching or shrinkage. Um, so it doesn't mean, I like this. It does not mean socks subbing for a pet chew toy, lost in the laundry, left behind at a race, or thrown away. So you just have to take a picture before you toss them.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
That's incredible. So I do look forward to this. I got my brother. I got a pair for him as well. And by me, I mean my dad got my brother a pair, and then he said, "Hey, give this to your brother," and so you got them for him. And I was like, "We'll see how that goes. Probably won't do that.
Well,
I'll probably
you just told him the truth now.
yeah. I don't know if he listens. I know he listens to another podcast, so I don't know if he does this one. Maybe he does. I don't know. But anyway, that's probably exactly how I'll tell him. Be like, "Hey, I got you these socks," and by me, I mean Dad got you these socks and told me to give them to you and say I got them for you. So that's probably how it'll go. Anyway, I'm really excited about that. I don't know. I don't want to wear these for the first time next Saturday. I also don't want to run my half marathon training run in them Wednesday. So I'll probably wear them for like my Thursday run, my typical Thursday run. Um, on the road, I guess. I mean, might as well. It's not going to be as tough as like the terrain would be on them. So we'll see what happens. So I'll do that, do my 4.3 mile run in those, and go from there. I think we'll see what happens. But I definitely don't want to wear them for the first time Saturday.
Oh, that would be terrible.
Yeah, I think so. Not the best idea.
No.
But yeah, that's what I have going on. And then the week after that's the Spa 10K, and then I have 3 weeks off unless I get talked into like some turkey trot or something like that. I got 3 weeks off to the Three Bridges Marathon, and then that's a wrap for 2024. Uh, we did see, you and I both saw that my club's 5K that Cabot Cruisers put on. They have a special discount for this week. $25 registration for the Spring Fling 5K, which is next March. Are you going to sign up for that, Michelle?
No, I'm not.
Okay. I had said, like, I'm not going to do the Grand Prix next year, but I'll probably will do the Spring Fling 5K and might even do the Arkansas 20K again just because I liked it, and probably run the line. But I mean, I'm not duplicating what I did this year. And I understand I don't have to do every Grand Prix race or anything like that, but that would still be 10 more races I'd have to do. And just don't have the time, energy, effort, or even, finances to do that again. Another reason that's appealing, trail running is appealing to me. Registration costs, from what I've gathered, appear to be much lower for races. So I'm excited about that. But I'll probably sign up for it this week, the Spring Fling 5K. I've got till the 9th to decide. So
It was a good race. It was a good race. It was a good atmosphere, and I liked like all the food after. They had
coffee, a wide variety of food from pizza to fruit to cheesecake, pie stuff, breakfast
Man.
sandwiches. Like it was a interesting spread, but it was good.
Yeah, well done. Of course it was. Captain Cruisers put it on. No, it was a well done race. Um, especially everything we had to deal with last year with the massive storm before that and having to clean the track up the night before, the day before. That was a lot. But we got it done, put together a good race. And I say we, I mean, I did contribute to the cleanup part, but that was it. But it was a fun race and probably do it again, just to represent the hometown 5K as a cruiser member. So I'll probably sign up for that this week. We'll see what happens. But in the meantime, I'm going to gear up for the trail run. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited about it. It'll be different. You're not running on a road, you're running in the woods and on trails, and it should be exciting. Well, uh, rain or shine, I'll be there. Me and my brother will be there. And we get to it's essentially it's within walking distance of his house. So we can literally just walk, or I think they ride scooters there. I don't know where the scooters are around, so we might get a scooter and ride it there and back to it. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
But I'm excited about it. I assume we're not going to have a show next weekend because I will be there till Monday. That's my typical Northwest Arkansas kind of thing I do. If I'm going up there, I'd like to stay an extra day if possible, I mean, it's a 3.5 hour drive. So I'm not just don't just have to be up there for the weekend and bounce. So I'll get there Friday night, get up early Saturday morning, and then I'll be there till Monday. So we're guessing we're not going to have a show next weekend, but we gave you a good one this week, I thought. Weekend. And yeah, you got some running stuff and a movie review in between. Yeah, we we talked about movies last episode.
We did.
We did. Well, we might have a movie portion of the show. However it works out.
We
Okay, anything to add, Michelle? Did I miss anything, or is something you want to add before we get out of here?
Well, I was just gonna say, on top of our movie reviews, we typically do a fantasy football follow up.
That's
So,
right. That I whiffed on that. Well, would you like to start us off?
um, this is not a great week for me. Um, I am playing somebody who just has, goodness gracious. Um, I just looked at what they've scored. Um, so they just have some really good players this week. So it is just not in.
Okay, for context, for those of you fantasy football goers and watchers, etc., fans of football, Michelle's having to play both Bijan Robinson and Derrick Henry this week, and which I almost sent you a picture. I had when I was in there watching today, had the split screen on. I was watching both running backs play, by the way, and I saw Derrick Henry score, and Bijan Robinson was doing well too. But continue.
Yeah, so um while I am technically winning right now by 3 points, that is not gonna continue for sure. So
Who do you have left to play and your opponent?
um quarterback G Smith, wide receivers Moore
I
and
think
Pittman.
Hang on, Geno Smith. Well, G Smith. I like
It
that.
just says G Smith.
I know, but it's Geno Smith. All right.
And then for wide receivers Pittman Jr. and D Moore.
DJ Moore.
And then their flex is K Walker the third.
Kenneth Walker the third.
So that's everyone they have left to play.
Whew. Okay. Well, fortunately, I didn't start anybody on my bench because they're not doing anything. I have one person playing right now. I am playing without a running back this week, so I fully expect to lose. But the only person I have playing right now is Brock Bowers, and he's gotten me a whopping 4 points. He's the number 2 ranked tight end, so not doing well against Cincinnati. I am playing against Joe Burrow in Cincinnati, and Joe Burrow has 24 points right now. Garrett Wilson had 30 on Thursday night in their beating of the Texans. His flex guy hasn't done anything, and his defense didn't do anything. But he's still somehow projected to get 141 points to my 95. I don't know that I agree with that as far as what he's expected to do. But it's going to come down to Monday. I got Mahomes, Kate Otten, and Harrison Butker all playing Monday night. So tomorrow night will be interesting. It's hopefully interesting still. Again, I can't gauge how I'm going to do because I only got one guy playing. He's not doing anything, so that's not a good sign. And I don't have a running back this week. I had Jordan Mason and Najee Harris. They're the only ones I got. I got McCaffrey on the IR. They're both on a bye this week. So all I could do was plug in Travis Etienne, um he's been not very good. I'll be nice and say he's a Clemson guy, so I root for him. But he's been not very good over the last month. He's also been hurt, so that plays a little bit of a part. So hopefully he can bounce back this week. We will see. Although Jacksonville's kind of done a two-headed monster thing in the backfield right now, so it's probably not a good thing. But hopefully McCaffrey comes back after their bye this week, and I can turn it on from there. So it's not looking good for me or Michelle so far. Hopefully things change. But that's your fantasy football football update, and Radley appears to have something to say.
You have
Although
anything to say? He's just purring.
Okay. Well, he's trying. It's just not the purring isn't picking up into the microphone. All right. Well, I got nothing to add, Michelle. I do need to do some grocery shopping at some point today, probably this afternoon. But we'll get out of here on that. And that was relevant. Don't know why I felt the need to say that. But point is, I guess we're going to get out of here and we'll see y'all in a couple weekends. Till then, I'm Grandpa. It's Michelle Zangulis. See y'all next time.
See ya.